Hello everyone, it's Steve with Aptera Owners Club. Today, Aptera released a new video with Jason Hill talking a little bit about the design, the interior design of the Gamma. There wasn't any real new information in there, so I'll let you guys watch it yourselves. It's only 2 minutes and 28 seconds long, and you can find it on Aptera's channel. They put out a blog post which recapitulates a lot of the things that Jason Hill talked about. And so I thought I'd go over that. And what this video, watching this video, made me realize is that the beta interior and the gamma interior are very similar and they haven't changed too much. And the beta interior was released back in February. Um, and they probably had this design done probably a month or more before they released it. And then the beta interior was released in June, and now it's August, so about 2 months later. And one of the things that Jason Hill says that Gamma was designed several months ago, and now currently they're making design decisions about Delta, but based on how much things have changed between Beta and Gamma, I suspect the changes from Gamma to Delta will be very, very minimal. Now, the changes from alpha to beta were huge. I mean, there was lots of differences. So I wanted to kind of revisit beta and look at what subtle changes happened between beta and gamma, and also go over this blog post. So in this blog post, they go over their phases of development. So we know they made 3 alpha vehicles, and then they made one beta vehicle that's rolling, and they probably made several test mules for like solar and cooling and that kind of stuff that we never saw. But they probably had several test mules for beta, and then they're building gamma right now, and they're at the end of the video with Jason Hill, the date is September 10th, 2022, which is the first day of the fully charged show. So they're building gamma right now, and gamma was designed 2-3 months ago, and they're currently, while they're building gamma, they're making decisions about delta, and delta is their production intent vehicle. So as I understand it, what they're doing here is the gamma is being built with like one-off prototype parts, and the production intent vehicle, I suspect those are going to be built with production intent parts from their suppliers, and then they hand build those. And that might be what they deliver by the end of this year, or that's their plan to deliver by the end of this year. Again, I would be surprised if they met that deadline. And so if they do, I'll be very, very happy about it. But I wouldn't be too disappointed if they don't meet that deadline. That's kind of to be expected, I think. So they talk about how in the gamma phase, we found ways to optimize cabin interior spaces, increasing head, leg, and hip room. And that's when they did beta, they made the whole body fatter. And so I think the body shape hasn't changed dramatically between beta and gamma either. Then they talk about the different screens. So as expected, the center display is going to be the main control screen, controls the vehicle controls, media, navigation, climate control, adjust airflow, temperature, and velocity to their protect. So here we know for sure they plan on having some kind of vent system. We don't see a vent in this picture, and it's still a mystery where the vents are. One thought was maybe the vents come around the center screen, and maybe that's true, maybe that's not. It's not clear where the vent is. This is fairly certain to be a speaker, these two, but maybe that's the vent. We don't know. But clearly they plan on having vents, and you're gonna be able to adjust the airflow, temperature, and velocity through the center screen. The other thing is that they are saying that the seats are fully adjustable, moving forward and backward and angle, so everyone can find their preferred seating position. This makes me think that my guess that the track that the seats are angled upward, so that as you pull the seat towards the yoke, your seating position gets higher in the vehicle, which makes sense because shorter people with shorter legs are going to tend to have shorter torsos and need to be placed higher up in the vehicle. So I think I think this sentence pretty much confirms that the track is angled forward. Now, I don't know, again, it's not extremely clear what they mean by fully adjustable. Fully adjustable, do they just mean it goes forward and backward at this angle? I think it's probably also has a recline function. I would seriously hope so. And it would be great if it had a tilt function as well. But I think the up and down part is being handled by this track at an angle. But definitely when I go to the fully charged show, I'm gonna, if they let me sit in the vehicle, which I imagine they're gonna let people sit in the vehicle, um, I'm gonna check out how the seats adjust. And most of these, I think, are going to be very similar to the full production. They also mentioned, let's see, about the different screens. Maybe I haven't gotten to it yet. Yeah. Okay. So then they talk about how this statement is great, and this is one of the things I love about Aptera, that their goal is to build vehicles that last a lifetime. So they build vehicles to last a long time, and they want you to be able to keep it for a long time and repair it, and they're going to help you with that. So they want to choose materials that are durable, sustainable, and easy to clean. Okay, so that's very important. So, you know, a lot of us had concerns about how dirty this steering wheel would get because of its white color and the texture of it. And so the fact that they're saying it's easy to clean makes me think this is not cloth, because cloth would not be easy to clean. This is some kind of material that I suspect will wipe off very easily. Could be pineapple leather, but it's going to be something easy to clean and durable, which I'm all for that. Again, they show a close up of the seating area, and again, I love what this looks like. I love this pattern on the thing. It looks great. Then they do confirm that there is going to be a mirror or a screen right here that's like the center rear view mirror. It's missing in these shots, but they plan on putting it in because they said Gammas will with our unique vision system. You'll benefit from digital cameras instead of mirrors for direct rear vision. So that is the direct rear vision, is this thing that's going to go right here. And Jason Hill mentions it in the video where he says you'll have to look up to see this part. And then the side view mirrors are assisting the exterior mirrors, and the screen in front of the steering wheel will display the side view images. So as we suspect or knew, this is going to display the side, the cameras from the sides of the vehicle. This one's going to display the rear view camera. This screen is going to control your console. And I think that the more I think about this yoke, again, I haven't driven with a yoke. This yoke is actually like a 3/4 wheel. And I think when you go make turns, you'll still be able to grab this, because as you turn, this will end up in the top and you'll still grab this and you won't end up grabbing air. But of course, we won't know about this until someone actually drives the vehicle. All right. So in this video that Jason Hill, he goes through the alpha and the beta and the gamma very quickly. He shows the differences between alpha, like, so here's the alpha ones, and I thought the alpha interiors looked fine, but now that we see gamma, this interior just looks so archaic. And you can see the differences in this, that there's huge differences between the alpha and the beta. So here's the beta, and we'll go to the beta pictures here, and this is the gamma renders. So this is a gamma render, not the actual gamma. The actual gamma vehicle is very similar to this, except for this fabric right here is a darker with a smoother grain. So here, what are the differences we'd see between? See, superficially, beta and gamma look very similar, but the differences are, like, they got rid of these little symbols on top of the eyes of the Hello Kitty. It looks like in the beta, this dash and the side panels were originally kind of a grayer, coarser material, maybe some kind of fabric. Now in the gamma, it's a smooth plastic type material, which I think is much better. And you see that in the beta, this center screen sits much higher. This one's much lower, so it doesn't impede the view. And this screen above the yoke is much wider on the gamma than on the beta. The beta doesn't look as wide. The biggest change, I think, is in the center console design. So in the beta, the center console had kind of this area as a sort of modular area, the rest of it was kind of built in. But on the Gamma, this whole thing is one flat piece, and then all these pieces are modular. The plus and minus pedals, which are missing in the actual Gamma, they just look like regular pedals. There is a mention in one of the comments that Aptera is saying that it will be plus and minus in the production vehicle, which I think is great. So they haven't changed that. That plus minus has been there since the beta renders. What you can also see is that the way that the door hinges work in beta have been changed. There's no gas strut here. And let's see, you can back up a little bit maybe. Oh, you know what? In the Gamma render, there's no gas strut here. But in the actual Gamma, they changed it. So they changed it from the render to the actual vehicle. There's a gas strut here in the actual Gamma. So this stays the same. So the biggest change is in the console. And the other thing you notice is in the beta, there's this black line here. And I think that was intended to be the vent system, this black area. That's my guess. In here, I don't know exactly where the vent is. I mean, is it this tiny little slit here? That just doesn't seem like enough air for enough space for to be an effective venting system. Maybe the venting system is underneath, or again, there's that possibility that the venting system is around this bezel. I'm not sure. Very curious about that. Need to figure that out at fully charged. Lots of questions that need to be answered at fully charged. But overall, I think the changes between beta and Gamma are very minor. And if you look at the differences, mainly the difference is in let's see here, in the center console and like the materials. Like this material had like more perforation in the center, but the Gamma is kind of the same piece all the way through. Like this part. There's no extra perforation in the middle. It's the same piece of fabric or pleather or whatever that is all the way through. Whereas in the beta, they definitely had more perforations. It was kind of it was not a uniform fabric here. Which, I mean, this looked fine too. I think the Gamma looks better. Okay, so the good news, I think, is this is very, very close to production design because they haven't changed this much since February of this year. And now we're in August. So I think this is pretty close to what we're going to expect to see in the production vehicle is this Gamma. They basically said at the end of this, over the coming months, they will share more information and specifications to our production intent vehicle Delta are solidified. So we are hopefully going to get lots more information about the details of the actual production vehicles, because they have not been giving us too much information about lots of the questions that we have, because I think those things are still kind of up in the air. And once they have them nailed down, they're going to tell it to us. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Hopefully that was interesting. I encourage you guys to go back and watch the beta design reveal video that I put out back in February and compare it to the Gamma interiors that you see now and see if you can spot the differences. I think that they're very subtle and there's not too many differences. So the design is getting more and more locked down. Thanks as always to our supporting members. Of course, we appreciate them. And I read all of your comments and learn a lot from them. And have a great weekend, everyone.